All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Rakar Kodash. Double honors to the Apostle Elders, great millstone, and salutations to you, Akim, out there laboring and doing this work in truth and sincerity. This is Rod Kakuma from the Grand Rapids Israelites camp, and I'm pretty much going to be going into this article. As you can see, it's on Blacklisted News. It's governments and social media companies are collaborating to censor anyone that would dare to question mainstream media narratives. And, pretty much that goes into, all different types of news media sources like RT, Al Jazeera, many other media outlets online, InfoWars, and things of that nature. That pretty much goes against Esau's narratives that he may put out as far as what he wants the public to know on a national level. And it also gets in the way of, regular people, that may have social media platforms that may do their own narratives concerning the research that they've done on these different stories or current events. Also comes into play for, us Akim out there laboring out there on the highways and hedges, and also our platform, as far as YouTube is concerned, as far as pushing these videos, and putting these lessons up as well. So we already know, with all this taking place and being put into effect, Esau is going to cause, a media blackout, concerning the internet. And that's pretty much going to cause, pretty much the famine of the word to come into effect. So with that, I'm going to get into this article. It says, the era of free and unfettered speech on the internet is rapidly ending. All over the world, national governments are working very closely with social media companies to take control of internet news. Up until recently, the internet was really a wonderful marketplace of ideas, and ordinary people like you and I were empowered to share information with one another like never before in human history. But now the elite have seen the power that this can have, and they are cracking down hard. The term fake news has come to mean any source that would dare to question the official narratives that are being fed to us from the mainstream media. And in reality, the push to censor fake news is really just an all-out effort to eliminate independent thought. Before the internet, it was much easier for the elite to control the flow of information, and now they are taking unprecedented measures to control the flow of information in the digital age. So, in other words, they don't want you to think for yourselves. They want to tell you what to think and what your opinion should be, instead of finding out information that pretty much contradicts their source or the narrative that they bring out in the media. It says under the law, French authorities will be able to immediately halt the publication of information deemed to be false ahead of elections. Social networks would have to introduce measures allowing users to flag up false reports, pass their data on such articles to authorities, and make public their efforts against fake news. And the law would authorize the state to take foreign broadcasters off the air if they were attempting to destabilize France, a measure seemingly aimed at Russian state-backed outlet RT in particular. New measures under consideration by the European Union as a whole are even more draconian. It says the European Union is less than a month away from voting to introduce aggressive new online copyright laws and widespread censorship measures, which critics say could strangle new media websites and stifle satire and online meme cultures. Unelected European Commission bureaucrats have drafted legislation which detractors could force online platforms to monitor and control all uploads to some platforms with content recognition technologies. They are also said to have proposed what has been termed a link tax which could compel blogs and other websites to pay just to reference content. So not only are they monitoring the content that you know users on YouTube can upload, but also you have to pay to reference the source of the content that you may reference in your videos as well. So this is all pretty much Esau coming against free speech, and pretty much this is a way for Esau to try to fight to maintain control of the masses as far as free thought and free speech as well. To give you an idea of what that would look like in practice, all we have to do is consider what is already happening over in China. Internet censorship has already achieved legendary status, and the largest social media network in China has already blocked at least 500 million postings in a battle against fake news. So I'm not really going to get into the entire article. I'm going to just read certain points. It says, late last year, YouTube made an announcement that it had decided to hire 10,000 new moderators to flag content. Of course, all of this comes after YouTube announced in December that it would hire some 10,000 new moderators to flag content, Swan reported, and those moderators have been flagging at a stunning rate. He noted further that in several cases, the moderators were pulling entire channels without any advance warning whatsoever, and that most of those channels were deemed either pro-gun or conservative. And brothers is already going into the fact that they even getting their channels flagged without getting YouTube warning strikes. Some of our videos have gotten flagged, or they don't appear as far as being able to search for them or whatnot. So Esau is already about to make his move as far as causing a media blackout on the internet, and that's just really stirring up prophecy. So as a matter of fact, before I get that, I typed in government and social media censorship, and it's literally hundreds, if not thousands, of videos, showing and demonstrating how Esau's already making his move, coming against free speech and internet, social media censorship. And just like the article was talking about, what is China censoring online, CNBC explains, a variety of different videos on government and social media censorship. So this is Amos 8 and 11. This is pretty much the prophecy that is getting ready to take place. Due to Esau constantly being exposed, either through whistleblowers, but mainly through us, the prophets, the hopeful men of the Lord, out there laboring. As far as bringing out prophecies concerning Esau's downfall. This is Amos 8 and 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. Because YouTube, being the main outlet as far as, Joachim out there laboring, putting videos and shows up, that's pretty much going to be shut down at some point, which is soon. Because Esau is going to come to the point where, they're going to shut down all internet service providers, for certain internet content or certain websites to be blocked, especially pertaining to this truth and pertaining to this doctrine. So we already know that we at in the 11th hour where, pretty much the Most High is accomplishing, sealing the members of the elect, which is the 144,000. So to those of you that's watching the videos and learning, it's good to take heed onto this now, because you won't have this, soon to come. It says, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. Right, because once the Most High puts the spirit on Esau to pretty much, shut the internet down, it's pretty much, not going to be much of a outlet as far as receiving this word going out. And plus, that's when they're going to also come against us as far as going out there on the high hedges, you know. This is Isaiah 32 verse 5. It says, the vile person shall no more be called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful. Alright, so who does that vile person represent? Of course, it represents the so-called white man, Esau. And pretty much, let's look at that word, liberal. That word liberal goes to the Hebrew word nadiab. And it says inclined, willing, noble, generous, inclined, willing, noble, of noble mind and character, which Esau pretty much is far from, because the deceiver of the whole world, you know. Now let's take a look at that word churl. It's from the Hebrew word kailah, which means a scoundrel or knave. If I'm actually saying that word, it says in the sense of withholding, niggardly, a churl. So pretty. What are they holding? They're withholding back the truth. The truth concerning, for one, the prophecies of the men of the Lord, us coming out and pretty much letting it be known who the real Israelites are, of so-called Negro, Latino, and Native descent, since these pretty much elites want to pretty much fund the narrative of these fake Jews being the real people of the Lord, and also, the truth as far as what's going on as far as World War III and current events and things that's taking place all across the world, So they want to withhold back certain information. So they're coming against anybody who will push a narrative or story contrary to whatever they bring out in the main news media. It says, for the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy, and to utter error against the Lord, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and it will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. That's all. I mean, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and it will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. One, that's twofold, because for one, as far as this word going out, the soul, as far as sincere listeners, that can be edified and filled with this truth. But also, Esau is going to cause, pretty much these stores and pretty much things like that to be shut down all across America in the time of Jacob's trouble as well. It says the instruments also of the churl are evil. He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right. But the liberal deviseth liberal things, and by liberal things shall he stand. All right. So the liberal in that precept, which is the noble ones, is talking about the prophets. We're standing by the liberal things, which is his truth. So let me end it on my last precept. This is Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. All right, so the time as far as receiving this truth, as far as receiving the knowledge of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, is now, and it's only here for a limited amount of time. So with that, you sincere listeners and to you sincere followers, you know, keep listening, keep studying, keep basically preparing your soul for the and your minds for the day of trouble, because our salvation is pretty much near, and pretty much as far as this truth is concerned, it's pretty much gonna be to the point where if you have it, you're gonna be sealed in the time of our day of trouble. So it would behoove you, to take this seriously as possible, and keep getting knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, because soon Esau is gonna pretty much cut this whole thing off. So if you don't want to be lost, continue to grow in this thing and continue to basically, be followers of the man that's laboring and pushing this truth. And with that, I say once again, all praises and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And with that, I say Shalom.